This is the Best or Worst podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Stephen Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
All righty, welcome. This is Koji.
And this is Martin.
And this is the Best or Worst podcast. And on the second part of this week's episode, we are going to ask our guest about their best or worst moment. And Tamara, we got to know you in the last episode. We found out about your attempt to stay at a Love Motel in Japan. We found out about your dad, 9/11, and we found out about your work as a director. Martin, I guess I'm going to ask you, what do we want to hear Tamara's worst or best or worst moment?
I want to hear Tamara's worst.
Okay.
Is that shocking to you, Koji?
No. I'm always surprised whatever you say, so I'm excited.
I knew you were going to ask me that.
So, Tamara, what is
I kind of knew you were going to go there.
Me? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. No, not you. I just felt like that's the one I would be asked to do.
Well, I always try to, I don't know. I always try to throw Koji out, but apparently I don't do that.
I don't try to anticipate you, so don't worry. So Tamara, what is your worst moment? And obviously it shouldn't be something where somebody died. Obviously, I mean, your parents dying, it's like, it's something that
is terrible, but it's oftentimes, it's not that it's too easy, but it's kind of, unless it's like, something that was really profound. We try to shy away from that. It's,
Tamara, do you have a story for us?
No good, bad day. Yes.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned before, it took about 5 years to make Path of Dreams. And I did it $5 at a time to ultimately get to 72 grand, which is what it took to make this movie. I did various things to try and raise money for this film, including having a gala that was held at the Story of Stern's Japanese Garden, Pasadena, which is lovely. And we were charging $150 a plate, which of course would all go to the film. We were a 501c3, so for anyone who wanted to buy the lovely meal, it would be a tax write-off for them. And we had an auction for people to buy things, and it was a lovely upscale event with wine and a chef or a caterer who comes from a very famous high-end restaurant family. And it just took a lot of coordinating. It was horrible to plan. I learned I do not want to be an event planner. It is way too stressful. And we had organized table rentals, chair rentals, the decor, setting up. I think we had 20 auction items that were being delivered and made, and the sheets for that, how much would everything cost, getting wine donated, getting wine delivered, who was going to serve the wine, where in the garden were we setting up, who was going to be setting up, all of the things that going into this high-end event, and getting, I think ultimately we had about 60 people there. So about 36 hours before the event, my caterer, who was donating sort of his time, we were paying for the food, of course, but he was related to someone working on the film, and called me and said, "I'm not going to cater your event."
Oh.
And I lost it because this was a very big deal. I remember I was driving, I was on the highway, and he left a voicemail saying, "I'm actually not going to be able to do it. Good luck," and hung up the phone. So I called the person who was working on the film with me, who was helping me to plan all of this. And we were just like, that's not okay. There was no reason he was pulling out. He just didn't want to do it. And we did not have time or money to hire someone else. We had already purchased all the food of what he said that he was cooking. So that was not an option. And so I basically had to call him back. He did not answer his phone. So then I called the person on the film who was related to him and explained to her what was going on, and she said, "I will handle it." And to her credit, she did. He showed up begrudgingly, but he did not have any servers with him. He just showed up to cook the food, and then he left. Wow. So the people from my husband's company who were helping me and supporting me, instead of just serving wine, they also then served food for me. And while at the event, my mother was there which was lovely of her to come from New York for the event. But she had been running around all day, and it was the summertime, so it was warm. She's not a big water drinker. And after she had a glass of wine, she decided to pass out at the event.
Oh, geez.
So after I thought I had recovered, here we are having a nice event. Down goes my mother. So Valina's lovely son, who is a doctor now, rushed over to her, and we got her inside. I think she was just overheated. So we got her into the air conditioning and gave her some water, and she recovered. After about an hour, she was able to rejoin the party. But the events on our website the pictures on our website of pathdreamsfilm.com, I think we have pictures of the gala. They are absolutely stunning. We have a lovely photographer there, and they do not at all convey the stress that went into that day.
Wow.
It was awful.
So what was the Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna. What was the deal with the chef?
He was young, and I think he just didn't want to do it because we weren't really paying him because, the person he was related to on the film had sort of volunteered. He just, I don't know.
Oh, had volunteered his services?
Yeah, I mean, he had agreed to do it. Yeah. But he decided later he didn't want to. And wow. I think he was young. I think he was like in his 20s.
That seems like a very bad career move to do something like that to somebody. That kind of
I'll never work with him again.
Yeah, and
this whole flaking thing. I mean, I'm from New York. You don't do that, and I know it's a thing in LA that like people flake at the last minute. But you can't do that to me. That's not happening. When this event was like extremely important.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did events. I did events at Janum for like 15 years, so I totally know those moments where everything goes wrong. And the most important part
goes money to throw at the situation.
You definitely have no money. I had no money to throw at the situation, and you had to just figure it out. And I've been on the phone with people screaming at them that they have a contract. You have to do this. I don't care what you do. You have to get there. I'm gonna come over there and make you do it if you don't come over. But
come do a fight.
Yeah, we'll fight.
I could have used you. That would have been nice.
But
I've seen Koji get mad one time.
Oh wow.
Rightfully so. Huh?
When did you see me get mad?
Oh, dude, when I won't mention any names, called your son that.
Oh yeah, that was mad.
You were furious. I was like, oh. So
my son can protect himself, but
you sure can.
But your mom. So did your mom like talk about it later, or how did your mom feel
Even
about
now,
it?
if you mention it to her, she sort of rolls her eyes and says, "Oh yeah, that was a thing." I mean, this has happened in my life. I remember in high school once I was, at a Duane Reade with her. We had been at the beach all day, and then we're waiting in line, and down she goes, and I'm just like, "Hello, drink some water." It's very stressful. So now it's like I'm always on her, especially if it's warm. I'm like, "Drink water." She just doesn't. She doesn't like it.
Wow.
So you got to keep an eye on her. Luckily, she's little, so I can catch her. But
catch her.
At my event, like
throw over your shoulder.
Wait, what about your wedding? She didn't pass out your wedding, right?
She did not pass out.
You had to think about that for a second.
Yes, I did.
How often does your mom pass out?
I mean, not too often, but of course I've been. No, I wasn't there. She once was on a cruise with some friends, and down she went.
Oh, wow.
I think it's only been 3 or 4 times in her life, but of course,
that's a lot of
not
time.
at a main event for me. That's just a lot.
That is a lot of time. That is a lot. Yeah. I don't think I've ever passed out in my life. So
I haven't either. Wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's like my son. My son has a really terrible gag reflex. Like when he goes to the dentist, he wants to throw up. And I told him, I was like, you do realize that you shouldn't be throwing up every week. I'm just putting it out there that I don't remember the last time I threw up. And then he thought it was so normal because he throws up so much that he was throwing up weekly because of different things. And I was like, oh, you got to stop. It's not good for you. It's not.
Wait a minute. Hey, did he throw up at Disneyland?
He threw up at Disneyland.
He did, didn't he?
He threw up. I mean, we count the places he hasn't thrown up. It's like SeaWorld, Disneyland, Dodger Stadium, Lakers, Staples Center, school, home, friends' homes.
Poor guy.
But yeah, so once I told him to stop, it actually worked out better because he's like, okay, it's not I need to control myself better about the things that make him throw up. But anyway, sorry, that's totally off subject.
Coach's kid's the best.
Wow. When you look back at this event, this time, what did you learn from it?
I learned that making a movie is really hard. I mean, it was awful. I'm glad I didn't know how hard it was going to be when I started, because I don't know if I would have ever started.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. It's like, especially when you're doing a short film where no one's going to make any money.
Yeah.
You just don't know how high that mountain is to climb, and you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
But as bad as it was, I also got a $10,000 check once, and I just started crying. I mean, it was just so nice.
Yeah.
To get that support, and just to know that people believed in what I could do. And then the fact that at Mike and Molly, people supported me, and I had people from the crew, pay their way to come and work on my movie.
That is really cool.
It was amazing.
That is really cool.
And those are the moments that kept me climbing.
Yeah.
But
I've never heard
it's
of
funny
it.
you say that.
Oh, go ahead,
But as an actor though, when I've worked on TV shows and films and even in theater, the crew people for the most part are the most helpful people on the planet.
Yeah.
It's
a family.
They really are, and they're so selfless. I've rarely ever come across a situation where crew people were just not helpful. Well, I mean, they can't not be helpful.
Yeah.
Just literally.
And the thing that I was told by more than one crew member was that, it was really nice for them to see someone. I mean, I was low on the totem pole as far as crew was concerned. And so for them to see someone really pursuing their passion and then making it happen. I mean, I was there for 4 seasons, and the movie took me 5 years to make. So I was there for the duration of that movie. And by the time we wrapped the show, I had plane tickets to go to my shoot in Japan. So the fact that they were like, you're actually following your passion, you're making it happen, they were really happy to see that. Because in, network TV, some people are following their passion, but a lot of people are there for just their paycheck, and, they have good jobs.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to support that, that passion project, I think was nice.
It's funny you say that, because one of my good friends who's an actor, we started acting together, years and years and years ago. He actually just posted something recently, and the gist of it was basically, if you were paid the same salary as a teacher, and the chances are that your project would never be shown, most people would never go into acting. And I thought that was so true. And and basically say it's most people in this business, it's a passion for them.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be to really succeed. So I thought it was very poignant. So what you said just reminded me of that. It's so true.
I've never heard of doing a dinner for a short film. I mean, I've never heard of doing a dinner for any film, actually. So I'm very impressed that you put that together.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you raised money, because that's I've never done that, which is.
I think I only raised $1,500 at that event.
Oh, really?
Hey, that's still,
every little bit
$1,500
counts.
I
mean, I did an Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
I did the gala. I, asked everyone I knew for like $100.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Koji.
I was going to say, I've had an interesting relationship with the crew, but that's also because I'm the one hiring and firing them. So I don't think all crew are helpful, for sure. I've had a lot of because I think actors and crew have a different relationship than actors and producers, because of the fact that, like, I mean, they're usually pretty cool to the actors because they're working with them, but a lot of times there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that are not as nice with the crew. Crew reporting stuff to unions, or not showing up on time, or not showing up at all, or not doing their work. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and one crew member could poison a whole production. You need to nip those things in the butt.
So Koji just basically negated everything that I just said.
No. I think it's just different kinds of relationships.
Stay careful, folks out there who are crew.
I remember
watch out when you work for Koji.
Well, one of the best advices I got from a producer mentor of mine was that he said, on a big set, not really on small sets, but on big sets, the best thing you can do is not be on set, because he said, once you're on set, if there's a problem, they come to you and want to write a check about it. Whereas if you're not on set, somehow they'll be able to get through it without having to write a check for it. But the moment you show up, they're like, hey, this is broken, we need a new one. Or you need to go rent a new one of these. Whereas at some point, I mean, assuming it's not something, obviously it's something huge, then it's different, but the smaller stuff and the thing they could work around. But anyway, Tamara, that was really awesome.
Yeah, it was.
It's kind of a best or worst moment too, right? Because it's kind of a best moment because you finished and you completed the movie and the game.
Well, that was my best one, was my last day of filming. Yeah.
and your worst part, because you had all the stress there and that
beginning of the project, end of the project.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't believe people would quit on you right before.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's the only person that did.
Yeah. But thank you so much.
Is he a successful chef now, or has he learned his lesson, or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I know he's tried some other stuff and hasn't necessarily worked, but I don't know what he's doing now.
Oh, so so the chef thing was like a passing phase for him.
No, I think he opened a restaurant for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious, interesting.
Tamara, how can people follow you? How can people follow your
Yeah.
project?
Well, I'm on Instagram. I post stuff about every project that I've got on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, and my film's website is pathofdreamsfilm.com. And I have a website, but I don't really keep it up. So
Okay.
Is your Instagram your name?
Tamara Ruppart, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put a link in the show notes for everybody who wants
Yeah.
to follow.
And Path of Dreams is on Amazon, by the way.
Oh, it is. Is it on Prime?
Amazon. Is it
It's
on
on
Prime?
Amazon Prime. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
cool. Okay.
I am going to go and watch it right now.
I'll
It's
put a link
24
up because-
minutes.
Because I think it's like I said, it's one of the best shorts I've ever seen.
I know you mentioned that before. That's cool.
I love it. All right, thank you so much. Please rate, review, subscribe to the podcast, and
Please,
we really
please, folks.
appreciate we appreciate you listening to us. And thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Thank you, Tamara.
Thanks, guys.